What's up? How's it going? Stream is gonna be a little different today. Oh, I'm not sure. Oh man, that looks really skippy. Uh-oh. One sec. I might have to change some settings here. Okay, hold on. Give me just a second. Maybe that didn't like it. Because I'm seeing that this is not having a good time. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's like super skippy. Okay, hold on. Ownage, what's up? Give me just a second. You know, I think the 1080p put it over the edge. I think my PC is not liking that. Yeah, man. Holy cow, that's so bad. Okay, I will have to fix that then. I don't know how well I'm coming through audio-wise, but I can definitely tell the video is like super scuffed. So give me a second. Boom, 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 boom. Edit title and description. No. Okay, here. Enable auto stop. Okay, I might have to like redo. One sec. Okay, guys, I gotta restart the stream. I'll be right back. Okay, let's try that. Not sure if that's gonna be any better. Hey. Is that better? That looks good on my end. Image quality could be a little better, but we'll work on that. Okay, I think we made it. I think we're here. So I am streaming on a new sort of configuration, so that's kind of the reason we're going through some of this stuff real quick. But I think it'll be a good stream today. Video's a bit blurry, yeah. Video's gonna be a bit blurry. Not much I can do about that right now. There's like a few settings I could change. In fact, let me see if I can change it real quick. Things. Okay, well, just keep me in the loop. This might be the best we can do for now. So, welcome. Using new headphones too that are having a hard time staying in my ears. Just keep me in the loop as far as how it's going. If it's starting to chop again, I can always change the settings. I can always change the settings back, so no problems about that. But all right, so today's stream, we are going to talk about, we're going to go over the SPL layout and kind of do the same basic walkthroughs that we always do on that. And then we're also going to watch some videos that you guys have sent. So I posted this on YouTube already, so I'm sure most of you have already seen on just my community page. But I want to do a new thing where people can send me video clips from either a practice or a tournament that they were at, letting me know who they are in the video, and then I will watch the clip, whatever timestamps, durations, or whatever. I mean, I don't want to watch like a whole 15-minute match if I can help it, but if there's particular points that you'd like me to talk about, I'm happy to go over those and just kind of give my advice. My only catch to that, or my only caveat to that, which I will caveat until the end of time, is that I don't have the full context. Obviously, I'm going to evaluate a clip from what I do have and what I can work with. So just keep that in mind. Hey, what's up? How is it going, Ernesto? Oh, there we go. Looks good now. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to caveat that every single time I watch a clip. It's just letting you guys know, hey, like this is as much. I'm only working with what I can see. So just so you're aware. So after that, then we're just going to do like a brief rundown of the groups and just kind of, I haven't even looked at the groups. I know that they're out. I've breezed the pictures, but I didn't actually see who's playing who. And then closer towards the tournament, which I think would be next week. Yeah. Next Thursday, we'll do like a pregame show where we'll do the predictions and all sorts of stuff like we normally do. I guess the layout would probably have dropped by now, huh? Right? I think the layout would have dropped. So maybe we can take a look at that too. But yeah, that's the stream. That's the stream. So let me get some water. And I'm streaming on my wife's PC, so I don't have any like the nice production quality. Like even my camera doesn't have the filter that I normally use. So it's a bit of a scuff stream, but it will work all the same. It will work all the same. Just for now, I'm actually gonna swap these really quick. Hold on. These are okay. I will get them working at some point, but now is not that time. How was everybody doing? Thank you, Dharma Daniel, Mark Paris, and Eric Goff. Eric Goff for the subscriptions to the channel. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Wait. Okay, much better. I mean, I can hear the depth of the music now. Okay, so let's transition scenes. Sweet. Yeah, like I said, don't mind the production quality today. Okay, let's walk the SPL layout here real quick. So every time I do this, I will walk through my process so that you guys can do it yourselves as well. So I always like to run the baseline on both sides to just kind of see what shots exist. So there's obviously a lot of dead zones here, so I'm going to keep that into account while we look at this. So there's obviously this big gap here, this gap here, and this gap here, all from this dead zone, which is pretty nice. As you keep running, you could make this cross shot while you run for sure, up to that snake side can. But there's that shot. Obviously, anything heads up is doable, but it's pretty hard. I feel like shooting at the center or shooting cross in some ways is easier, mostly because if you guys, for some of you already know this, when you're shooting, your balls kind of go this direction. So it makes it really hard to put the balls where you need to, or put your stream where you need to, so that way they kind of curve into where you're going. Because you want to shoot, when you're running and gunning, you want to shoot in that little spot right there. So pretty big open gap here, though. This would be a pretty good gap to, if you were running and gunning to the corner on the Ruda side and your opponent was to kind of just run in with his head down, you could definitely put some paint here as you run out and hopefully try to pick him up as he tries to slide in. Otherwise, if you get to this cake, that's just a immediate leapfrog, I would suspect. You would have to worry about the Dorito. So that's something to be aware of if you took too long to get out of the corner. But if you made this move right away and slid in, you'd probably be fine. But now that I look at it too, you do have the home guy who could keep you pinned here. So this isn't like a free leapfrog. So I don't know if that, I mean, obviously every time I say a bunker is never going to be used or is never good, I'm always wrong. So I'm just going to take that into account. I upload a video to YouTube, but YouTube delete the video because it is too long. I'm trying to upload to Google Drive the one I sent you from mail. Oh, okay. Oh, was the thing you sent me a YouTube link? Oh, okay. Interesting. I'm not sure what happened, Ernesto. I'll take a look at it, though, or just let me know. All right. So that's the Dorito side. Running Snake side, then we've got... you could shoot back at the home. This is a really hard shot. And you've got such a small gap to do it. I mean, by the time you get out here, that's probably like 3 to 5 balls, maybe. If you're tall, it's a little bit more than that because you can shoot over the Aztecs. It's actually probably more than that, regardless of how high you are. Running out to the corner, then it's pretty straightforward. I would say that you have just as many like heads up shots on this side as you do the Dorito side, because you're really kind of shooting in 2 zones, probably. I wouldn't, as this guy, I probably wouldn't try to kill this dude. I would actually probably just put your paint here and here if you were going to shoot anything running and gunning. Otherwise, I would shoot back at the home if you're running and gunning to the corner. Getting to the corner then. Okay, so now that we've done the baseline, let's look at the back center shots really quick. So you have obviously this tall Aztec, I'll just call it tall tower. You have the inside of that little Aztec, and you have a gap to the right of it. So you've got quite a few shots here at the home. You do have a blind shot over the top, so you've got a huge space of play, we'll say, where you can put a lot of pressure. If you step out to like any sort of blind, I'm not sure I would do that. I probably wouldn't go here unless you were trying to dodge like a very specific lane. Probably wouldn't go here and shoot this, but that's possible. And then you've got this gap or this dead zone here, though. This is pretty good. This is a tough one. You might be able to get some shots to drop low enough, and this Dorito guy, but I don't know, man. You'd have to be kind of tall, because I think by the time they get to that Dorito, they're diving already. If you decided to stop here, though, this would be too much. I think that'd be too tight of a shot to make. If you're trying to beat the one, the number one on the snake side. Otherwise, you have this gap here, so that's pretty good. Let's look on this side really quick. I promise it isn't this dry. We'll move through this pretty quickly. You got a really decent gap right here. This is a huge gap for the Dorito side. One thing to consider, or one thing to remember about, so like if you're looking at this layout, if I was a number 3 and I was looking at this layout, I would say, oh, okay, so the center looks pretty free, right? Because nobody can see you directly, and the only people that can challenge you are people that are going to run out wide and shoot at you. And that's obviously not only a tough shot, but like you can always shoot back at them as you make this move. The trick with middles like this is that they will, bad teams will always take the middle. Always, right? Like as in not considering the implications of that, right? Certainly there are layouts in which you should always take them, you should always take the middle because that's the correct thing to do. But you have to ask yourself, like, what do I lose by taking the middle? So in the case of like certain layouts, I'm not even sure if it's the case in this layout, but like, let's say for example, you were to send a guy into the snake and you were to go up the middle, and then your guy that came out to the corner, or let's say he came up to this Aztec, gets killed off the break. Or like not even off the break. He gets killed in the first like 10 seconds of the point. This guy makes it in here and you go here. Well, if you lost a body here, you've got a guy here and a guy here. This is an island drill with like, let's say 2 guys over this way. You have to push the Dorito side at this point. Because if you decide to hold whatever sort of snake gaps you want to hold this way, while your guy's like off here on an island by himself, first of all, if he dies, it's really hard to win that situation, especially if it's like a 5-on or a 3-on-5. If you kill bodies and trade, then it's not so bad. But if it's a straight 3-on-5, this is a really tough spot to be in. if you lost these two. So that's something that like this channel encourages you to go this direction, but just because you can take this off the break every point doesn't mean you should take it off the break every point. It might make more sense for you to stay here within the first 10 seconds of the point and see how the breakout develops and see who survives, and then go and then launch up the center right after that. Because again, I need to come up with a term for this. But as you guys hear me talk about all the time, the first 5 to 10 seconds of the point, you have a read and react window that's pretty safe. Because the front players that are going to have the most threatening positioning against you are still kind of either still running to their bunkers or just dove and are now recovering. I mean, obviously it doesn't take people 10 seconds to run to their bunkers, but especially if they're getting shot a lot, they're not going to be necessarily looking for that move up the center all the time. So certainly taking this after 10 seconds becomes a lot riskier, because now you have to know where your opponents are looking. So something to keep in mind. Obviously the center's good. Like the center's going to be good in most fields. It's just something to consider that like if you are losing points and you're always in the center, consider who is the first person on your team to die, and then ask yourself, should I be going to the center as a result of that? So it's always possible that like the correct play is to do this, but one guy in the back line is dying every point, and it just makes the situation really tough for you as a middle guy. But that's always a possibility. All right, so let's see. Oh, we needed to do lane zones. This is something that I normally always do. So it looks like there's a bit of an overlap. I'll just cross it. I'll just cross it in the center. And then I would probably say more so this way. So I think the home would definitely share this bunker with the snake side. I don't know. I don't think the home would share this bunker with the Dorito side. So this seems to be the zones that we would see. So this means that we will likely see the number 1 here off the break, with the exception of this bunker. The ones actually probably, I wouldn't be surprised. I think the home, or sorry, not the home, the front Dorito guy has all of these bunkers, right? Duh. But like probably more realistically these bunkers, like as a pretty consistent basis. The number 2 on the Dorito side looks to be that's his bunker. It's certainly possible that you send a guy here and a guy here, and it doesn't really matter who's who at that point. The home guy, these are his bunkers, I would say. Obviously you could use this bunker too, so I guess I should draw the zone or the little regions like I normally do. So this is the 3. Maybe there's some doubling up that would go on. There might need to be some doubling up for the snake side, but I would suspect that the front guy is going to go to one of these bunkers. So this is the one on the snake. We said the one on the Dorito. I mean, yeah, I guess unless you're just dying. We didn't even look at the gap, but I would probably suspect that this is the ones bunkers that he'll look at. The reason I'm doing this, just so you know, is if I can identify which bunkers I'm realistically going to go to in a tournament, then it helps me hyperfixate on those bunkers. Again, there's obviously a school of thought that you should be a super versatile player. You should be able to play every position, and that's true. But the fact of the matter is the majority of people still in paintball like specialize at a specific role, right? We talked about this with Mike Bianca, that you should really learn every role, and that is true at practice. But you should know which positions you are probably going to play at a tournament, even if that's just like 2 positions. And so this at least helps you identify which bunkers, like which collection of bunkers you should look at as your primary bunkers, because that's really important. Like if you know as the number 1 that these are the collection of bunkers that you'll ever go to for the most part, because that's within your playbook, right? It's certainly possible that maybe off the break you do some kind of crazy run where you dive into here, but like this bunker is going to be in your repertoire of bunkers that you have walked, right? But like standard bunkers are going to be off the break these. And if that's the case, then you should know, all right, I ran to this bunker and I died. What are the different routes I can take to get there if I still need to go there, right? I'm not saying that's the route you should take, but like a lot of times the snake is one where you can run in front, you can run straight to it, you can kind of go to the corner and go around. So that helps you, and at least in my mind, that helps me a lot to just like figure out what are the regions that a position could possibly go to like realistically, right? Or consistently. So I would suspect that this is what it looks like. It's possible that the two will share the home. I mean, it's always a possibility. I just don't know how likely that is. And we'll probably say that the two would share the home on the Dorito side as well. But otherwise, I would say that these bunkers, oops, make sense. So this, I mean, I don't know why I drew that little lip right there, but, oh, excuse me, this is the 3. Okay, anyway, I just wanted to do that really quick. So heads up battle into this and from the corner, really nice heads up. I love corner to corner shots where you're shooting over a bunch of bunkers. I think that's really fun, instead of it just being completely exposed and then you have like full control of the wire. It's not a true wire, so as soon as you get to this bunker, with the exception of this tower right here, which you don't have to stop and shoot, you should always know if there's anybody that can actually see you if you were to low crawl up the snake. So in this case, if you low crawled, I don't think there's a single person that could see you, with maybe the exception of this guy right here who would shoot your pack if he was standing tall enough. So that's probably the thing you'd need to check off, is just head check to see if there's somebody in the tower shooting you, or get low and wrap and see if there's a guy here. Otherwise, crawl. Do you stop in the snake? I wouldn't stop here to challenge the center guy, because you don't need to. There's a gap, obviously, you could shoot if you wanted. There's this. Is it a center flag layout? That's interesting. You have a really nice wrap shot on this box right here. Yeah, that's actually a really decent shot. So that's probably, if it were me, how I would be interpreting this is like, okay, if I get into the snake, the very first thing I need to do, first of all, you need to know whether or not this guy can see you. If the middle guy can see you, head check this as safe as possible and then go. It might be an inside head check. It might even be that you slide here, instantly head check to see if he's there. If he's not, then you go. You take the bite, get to this pin, and then come here and start shooting this guy. If this guy isn't shooting at you, okay? Shoot this dude. If he is shooting at you, just get low and crawl and get up to here. From here, you've got a really... Oh, just kidding. I mean, you've got like a gap that you can shoot, but I wouldn't sit there and hold that. If you come in on the inside, again, the same sort of shot on the juice box. Don't really have anything else. If you come up over the top... If you come up over the top, you've got this tower shot, which this guy is dead. If there's a guy that's in this position and you come up over the top and use the little nipple to block, that guy's gone. You don't have anything in the wire, but you just got to be mindful. This is a really interesting shot. So this is an important bunker, because this move here is free otherwise if this guy is not there. Or at least, I shouldn't say free. It's... In the case of a heads up, if there's nobody there, it makes it really easy to then isolate who it would be that stops you. But like, here's the complex problem would be if there's a guy not only here. Here, let me zoom in, or let me zoom out. So as the snake guy, you obviously want to get to the 50 as fast as possible. It's true for the Dorito, right? But if there's a guy here and maybe a guy like over in these bunkers, it makes finding out who's on the inside of the field a lot more difficult if this guy is alive. So if there's nobody here, finding out who's in the middle is really easy, because you can safely wrap to look for it and then go, right? Assuming that the guy isn't in the 50 already. So if this guy's alive here, this move is really a lot more difficult, because this is a really hard wrap, right? You shoot this guy in, you shoot the guy in the temple in, or excuse me, the Aztec, and then you hard wrap to look for the inside guy, and you're super exposed while you do it. That's why it probably makes more sense to stand up over the top and get that intel. That might be the play, is you get here, you stand up and look for these guys. You don't want to do this every point, right? People will kill you if you do the same thing over and over. But at least for like a pretty safe basic strat, stand up, look, see, okay, nobody's there, come out, challenge. Okay, cool. I put him in and now I instantly take this bite. Obviously, man, there's a lot of trickiness here, because now you've got this like low crawl situation that could really screw your day up. You've got a guy who could play here that could just hold this and screw your day up. So that's going to be tough for you to see. And one of the things that certain layouts do better than others is they make the information problem really interesting. Or like, how do I want to say this? There are some layouts in which you have to have your teammates give you the intel you need to make a move safely, right? There's always going to be situations in which you made a move and it worked out, but it didn't really matter if there was a person there or not. Hey, what's up? What's up? Is it Alden or Aiden? I think it's an L. Alden, what's up? How are you? So the reason why I say this is because if you make this move, let's say you did your due diligence, okay? Let's say you checked off this guy, he wasn't there, and then you saw where this dude was. Or no, rather, let's make this even easier. You do your due diligence by checking the inside. No one is in these bunkers. Then you shoot this guy in, and then you're like, all right, I'm ready to take this move. Well, these guys are going to be the ones that screw your day up, even after doing your due diligence, these bunkers right here. So you need to know from some inside guy or some cross guy or even the dude behind you if there's anybody in these two bunkers for you to just take this bite as soon as you did what you needed to. There are some layouts where the problem to get to the 50 is super basic and it's just putting in the people that are in front of you in and then going. But this is one where at a high level, this would be a pretty dangerous move to make without knowing for sure if there's people here or not. Alex, what's up? How are you? Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. So that's an interesting dynamic. Let's look at the inside route for the snake because there's a really interesting route here. It might even be that what you do is you send your number 1 and your number 2 interchangeably, right? Like these guys need to be versatile for this layout. But it might be that you send your 2 guys right here. And this guy is intending to be the 1 because he wants to get into the snake. But if they beat him to the snake, this guy almost needs to stay here and this dude needs to go. Because here's why. This is a little old if A then B paintball that Mike Bianca talks so much about, which ask him if you go to an NXL event, go up to Mike Bianca, say, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. I'm friends with SVP Paintball, whatever. Can you tell me about if A then B paintball? And he will tell you all that he knows about it. I mean, he's like one of the founders of that. So here's an if A then B layout or scenario. Okay, let's say that our breakout is here and here. And let's say our opponents do something similar, but instead they go here. I don't know if it's easier to see this or the yellow, so let me know. And let's say they go to the snake, okay? So now they've beaten us to the snake. Now we have a couple of choices. This guy can either shoot heads up to put this dude in and then instantly take this bite to match, which is a pretty easy thing to do. Something to recognize, guys, is if the snake guy beats you, if you're the 1 and you see that he's beating you, well, guess what? You for the next like 3 seconds, you have a 1v1 in front of you. This is a simple gunfight drill, okay? If you see that guy, come up over the top of your bunker, over the top, and shoot at this guy and get him to flinch. As soon as he flinches, take that bite. Now, you have to know if there's paint coming your way from the home guy. You need to know this. Derek, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging out. It's been a long time, dude. Everything I said in that video is taken care of, by the way. I like this layout, and I learned a lot of things with your analysis. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy. Dude, today was such a crazy day. Tell me about it. All right. So, and I actually mean that. So, if you see that there's not paint coming your way already, then all this is a 1v1 for the first 3 to 5 seconds while the snake guy is like diving and crawling, okay? So your first choice is, I'm going to shoot this dude, get him to flinch and go. That's a pretty straightforward problem. Very, very common to do, okay? The problem is that if you aren't able to make that move because the home guy is shooting at you, which you really shouldn't make this move if you have paint coming your way, you need to just tell your teammate, hey, I can't go. You need to have a code word. This is if A then B paintball, okay? You need to know that if in the case that this is what happens, that they go here and you've got a guy stopping your snake guy because let me back up. Let's say off the break you say, hey, 23. That means 2 people Dorito side, 3 people snake side. And all that really means is that the home guy is looking snake way. Okay? If that's the case, then you know that you probably can't make this move freely unless the home guy drops his lane. Okay? That means that if you decide to break out in these 2 positions, you should know automatically that this is the guy that becomes the number 1. This guy becomes the 1, this guy becomes the 2. And here's the reason. If they break out, let's do overhead real quick. If they break out, hold on. If they break out here, and they're here, and they're here, we don't have to get into the snake as long as we've got a guy here and here, okay? Because all we have to do is this guy then has to post up for for like the absolute, and I think Bianca called it the safety. Nick, what's up? How are you? I'm questioning my sanity. This guy instantly acts as the safety, okay? Which means he becomes the 2. Because he wants to stop the snake guy from just freely getting up the 50, right? And the way that he does that is this angle. We established that this is the angle that would suck to try and fight. That means that this guy instantly has to come here, wrap and challenge the home guy to surprise him. As soon as he gets him to flinch, he takes this bite. And he comes here. And now you've got a guy here and a guy here. Well, now the only issue with this is that you obviously are covering the same lane, right? But this is the point at which now this guy becomes essentially the 2, or rather, excuse me, this guy becomes the 1 and this guy becomes the 2. And his issue now is to get out to the corner. And he can either get to the corner and stay there. We can look at the angles and see what that looks like. Or he can then get into the snake and try to make sure to threaten this tape here so that this guy can't just, if for whatever reason, if this guy wraps and wins this battle, well, you want to make sure that you're in a position where this guy doesn't just wrap on your team for days, right? So however, your team decides, but that would be the leapfrog play to make is, oh, hey, I'm stuck. This guy goes. Then you come out here and then either you go up the snake or whatever. Okay. Nick, how are you going? The error. How is it going, buddy? How are you? I said that really weird. So let's go to the 50 snake really quick. I mean, I don't usually cover the angles of the 50. Like usually everything is exposed. And in this case, it's absolutely true. Just be aware that this is like a really hard gunfight. Like if you were to shoot at the can over, those are all heads up gunfights. Unless the guy here is not looking at you. These are like not guaranteed kills. Nobody here is a guaranteed kill. This guy would have to live behind his gun to stop you. This guy's living behind his gun. This is a guaranteed kill. And what I mean by that is like if you just snap out and put a couple balls towards this person, there's nowhere they can go where they will survive. And it's also very difficult for them to like put pressure back at you that will contain you from doing that. This guy isn't a guaranteed kill, but you'd probably clip his head if he's playing a little sloppy. But like again, in the case where you were to shoot at the guy at the home, this guy could live behind his gun and maybe dodge your paint, and he's a lot closer to you, so that's a risk factor. All right, let's keep going. Inside snake route is pretty straightforward, I would think. You have some pretty decent inside shots. If you get to this snake, you can absolutely dominate this inside move up to the center. So if you're playing against a team that is not taking the center, then understand that this inside bunker is a pretty good bunker for the number 2 to go to. You wouldn't want your number 1 to go here because your number 1's job shouldn't be dedicated to watching the center, because then you're not making any forward progress on the snake side, and you're also exposing your back to the snake side tape, which means you're easily run down, right? It wouldn't be really, I don't think it would be super worth it to have some sort of like weird play where like this guy watches the middle and then the guy behind you watches like this gap to make sure you don't get run down. I just don't feel like that's really utilizing your advantage. You want to make sure to push your advantage, right? All right, I think that's it for that. Let's go to this bunker's pretty straightforward. Tons of gaps, lots of really good filtering. So, anybody that's threatening you, anybody that would be realistically threatening you, you can shoot at. And as soon as you get somebody to flinch, you can take this bite. Just know anytime that you've got a really exposed cross shot like we just saw, this is a really, really bad cross shot for you. You just have to know that after 10 seconds, you need to wrap this. You need to wrap and look before you take the bite. That's all you got to do. So if you get the person in front of you to flinch any one of these bunkers, wrap, look, then you can take the bite. Okay? So just wrap, look, come here, boom, you're good. As far as the center up here on this side, this is a super strong bunker to hold from. Really strong bunker to hold from. No doubt about it. Standing up. This is a cool gap right here. You've got this inside shot, which you'd have to be shooting paint to stop anybody. You'd have to be shooting there preemptively. I doubt, unless you're really tall, you're probably, well, you might be able to. If you're really tall, you might be able to see somebody's pack, but I would doubt it. You could put paint there and maybe get a kill. Anytime you move up the center, usually the principle of moving up the center is to like isolate one side and make your move, right? So if I've been looking snake way this entire point as I go up to the center, then I know all of what I need to know about what's going on the snake side, right? I think the tricky part about playing the center is not flip-flopping so much, because then you don't have firsthand information about what's going on either side. Whereas if you knew that off the break you were running up the center and looking snake way, it's like I'm running, looking snake side, boom, I get here. I have all of the information I need to know whether or not there's a snake guy. And if there's not a snake guy, I can sit here and hold this gap all day. I can just pump paint into this gap. As soon as they cross into the snake, as soon as they go here, then what I would probably do, since I can't really threaten the snake's positioning anymore, I would probably just wrap and look the Dorito way to see who's here, and then instantly come up to this bunker and see how I can get closer to that snake guy. And even this isn't that great of an angle, so maybe it's like, all right, now I got to make something happen on the Dorito side. So if I come here, I know that I either have to get a kill or got to make something happen. So if I hold this position and they're super patient, look, as long as both teams have 5 alive, you can sit here all day. If they try to take the bite and you get a kill, then you want to punish that by chopping this side off, right? Chop this off. Don't let anybody get further than this, and you just keep chopping it off. If the game is taking a long time and nothing's happening, and let's say you're down points in the series, this is where you'd probably want to take a bite, where you'd be like, all right, let me start prodding, let me start probing for moves. So I would come here, I'd start wrapping, I'd look. And then now the snake guy is my biggest concern, because the last piece of intel that I had was there's nobody in these Doritos now. So now as I come here, I got to look snake way. So you come here, chop off the snake side. Now your problem is you're in a bunker where you can no longer survive if somebody just sees you, right? If somebody knows where you're at, they will come run you down, or people will just turn and kill you. So you need to make something happen from this position. You can either bait the snake guy, because maybe you know that he's going to come here. He hasn't made it yet, but he's going to come here and poke up his head. As soon as you take that shot, you either kill him or you don't. If you kill him, you're golden. You can chop this off. You can come wrap here and maybe kill this guy. Or you can wrap until you don't see anybody and then make a committed move to try and kill somebody up the middle, which is probably the best thing to do. Or you can then come back to the Dorito side. The problem is now you don't know what's going on the Dorito side as soon as you make that move. You don't know if the guy filtered out this way, if they filled out to this corner. So if they call you out, if they say, hey, he's in the Trump or something, which is our center side 50, if they say the Trump, well, guess what? This guy is looking right at you if he filtered out. So it's usually better to just, whatever side you were last looking at, it's usually better to just wrap on that side and take the bite. So wrap and then boom. So that would look like this. You come here, look snake way. If they cross this gap, then you come here looking Dorito way. Probably still looking Dorito way. And then if you kill or they just don't get past this zone, then you come here and look snake way. Either kill this guy or hold this gap, and then you probably finish on the snake side. That's probably what you would do. Okay, Dorito side real quick. Dorito side. So really interesting heads up. So this is the number 2's position, very likely. Oh, this looks like a complicated situation. So you've got this big gap here, this big gap here, this big gap here. Lots and lots of gaps, I should say. By the way, I want to take a really quick pause and let you guys know. I doubt that I'll have my next video out tomorrow. It'll probably be first thing next week, just with like Memorial Day weekend and stuff like that. And we've got a lot of prep work to do. It's going to be a barrel cam video, which will be fun. Pulling it from the old archives. But what was I going to say? If you haven't seen my back player guide video, please check it out. I think everybody here will like it. Also, if you guys enjoy the content that I make, be sure to subscribe and also consider becoming a member. I'm the one that set it up. I'm pretty sure I have a membership as low as like $2, maybe $3. It's small, but hopefully you guys find the content valuable. Consider becoming a member. And there's some perks there. There's some emojis and stuff, which I'm hopefully going to get some new ones in the next like couple months. But okay, so the interesting thing about this problem here is that there's some high quality H2. Oh, dude, I don't know what it is, but my mouth is super dry. So This gap is really interesting because you can't really threaten the guy that's shooting at you. You can obviously shoot the blind shot, which is something people will do, but usually if you just crouch and you get really low, that guy's not going to ever hit you. So if nobody crosses this gap right here, if nobody crosses this gap, you can shoot an infinite number of as much paint as you brought out into that gap and prevent them indefinitely from getting out. Obviously, the front guy is going to be really hard to stop because by the time you get, like, if two people were to run, if two people were to run here and the other guy were to run here, by the time this guy gets here, you really have such a small gap to shoot that's probably not going to happen. But that would be the case in which you just shoot the corner, right? You would just probably put paint in the corner right here. So keep that in mind. If we come out farther, I would say that this Dorito then thereby is super free unless you get shot in this dead zone, which is probably the most common shot that people will try to take, right? So if I'm in the number 2 and I step out right here and I just shoot a bunch of paint, and then either I hit him or I don't, but I come out to this box right after, that's pretty safe, which means that this is the fun part about these dead zones, okay? So, if we establish that this bunker, here's if A then B. This is how we work it backwards, okay? If we establish that this move is super free except for that gap that we just identified, and there's only one person who can shoot that gap, which is a guy in this dead zone, that then means that this person, or the home guy rather, now has a shot that he needs to be aware of, or that this person can start to metagame the player that's in front of them by shooting back at them, right? Which is usually what happens. So what will happen is normally this person will run here still, and this guy as the number 2 will shoot back at his mirror, who will also be playing in that dead zone. Now, if they aren't playing that dead zone and therefore this guy's getting in here for free, then this guy can go back to doing what he was doing, where he's shooting at the front Dorito guy, and you just then this is what your positioning ends up being, right? But usually what happens is if you start floating out in this dead zone 2, 3, 4 points in a row, they're going to be like, who the heck can shoot that guy? Somebody please shoot him. And it'll either be the home guy that shoots you, which is a much safer position to do that from, or it'll be your mirror, right? The advantage of it being your mirror is that you can see the paint, or rather, the advantage for you is that if your mirror shoots at you, you can usually see that paint coming and dodge it, or at least put pressure back at them. But you can't really do that with the home guy. It's a lot harder, right? So yeah, there's something to consider. Otherwise, if we were to go out to the Dorito corner, like we said, the biggest issue with this bunker is that you're going to get stopped by this. Now, what would be the reason that you would go to this bunker? I think the big reason why you would go to this bunker is because, yeah, it's because you can get to the Dorito. We'll call it the Dorito 2, because this really isn't a Dorito. Like usually people call this the baby. But what that means is that if you hear, again, this is for people who like have actual bunker calls or like calls like this. If your team uses the backline calls of like 32, okay? If you hear 32, which means 3 snake way, 2 Dorito way, then that means that you could probably run, even gun to this Dorito corner, no problem. Because the only guy who's going to kill you is the dude in this gap. And he's probably shooting short. He's probably shooting right here. This means if you run this baseline and you keep your head up, especially you guys, I cannot emphasize this enough. When you are a front player, first of all, you should always have your head down range, whether you're running and gunning or not. But if you especially run and gun, you're getting all the intel you need to know what the problem is in front of you. So if you get to this bunker right here, and the guy was in the gap who was trying to shoot you, well, you've now beaten him, right? Because he's still not, by the time you get to the corner, he probably hasn't run out to this juice box yet to shoot at you. Even if he does and you go low, you can go on the outside of this and go then on the inside of this bunker. I'm getting kicked out because of guns up, but like you could absolutely go right here. And now all of a sudden, boom, you're in this Dorito 2 right now with like really, really strong positioning. And if you get the intel, hey, he's in the Dorito 1, well, now guess what? You have one person you have to beat to get to this little juice box, which I'm not saying is a good bunker. We'll see in a second. But like if you hear this guy is in the Dorito, then you don't have to even worry about him. You can just wrap and shoot this guy. As soon as you get into flinch, boom, you're here. And now all of a sudden, look how much real estate you control. You control this entire gap right here just by... You can essentially play on the outside of that bunker and don't even worry about what's on the snake side, right? So that's something to keep in mind. If you hear 32, maybe consider running out to the corner, running and gunning even. Get to the corner. As soon as you get there, you come to this baby, come here, wrap. You can't do it right away, but like maybe you come on the inside. I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's a video I want to make on how to become a better gunfighter. And one of those things is talking about different angles. I'm going to give you a tease of that real quick. Yeah, juice box looking really nice to post up. Wrap around and not even worry about snake. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't have a term for it, but and some people call it snap high, go low, but it's kind of the same thing, but a little different. It's a little different of a take on this. I'm just going to give you like some of my thoughts about the video I want to make with how to become a better gunfighter. But there's a concept, there's like usually 4 angles that you realistically fight from at any bunker at any given position, right? So in the case of the Dorito, it would be, here are like the 4 lines that you would draw, okay? These are like typically the most typical distinct places you will snap out from, right? There's obviously like points in the middle that you could snap from, but usually this is where people snap from. If you are on the move, people will always try and snap from the top because they're already on their feet, right? But regardless, wherever you snap from, that becomes the first angle you snapped from, okay? So if, for example, you snap from this position, this would be the first angle. You snapped from here, that's the first angle. The second angle would be below you, and then the third angle would be here, and the fourth angle would be here, okay? If you want to really win all the time, if you want to win and get up the field in a one-on-one situation, you should always, wherever you challenge wherever the first angle is that you challenge, you should always go to the third angle, okay? And that means that, let's say, for example, you challenge from here. Well, if you challenge from here right after, a good back player is going to put paint here and here. He's going to shoot in both of these spots. It doesn't even matter where you're snapping from. He's going to fan his gun up and down. That's why if you watch a lot of Division 3 especially, and even like Division 2, this happens all the time, where they'll snap out in the high position and they'll go immediately low, or they'll go low and then they'll come high from the same spot. And all the time, even in pro play, people will die doing this. So this is why I call snap from the third position. Now, again, the 5 to 10 second window applies in this situation, that you are really safe to look on the inside of the field to fight a one-on-one in the first 10 seconds of a point. You are very, very safe doing so, unless they're setting up a trap for you or something's, weird's going to happen, okay? So that means that regardless of where you snap first, whether this is the 1 and this is the 2 or vice versa, you should just, as soon as you snap out, you should just come here. And in fact, you don't even have to snap out from one of these positions. What you can do is instead, you just, as soon as you slide into this bunker, challenge from the inside and get this guy to flinch and then go low. Okay, this is... Trevor Reeser has a video that's, I don't remember what it's called exactly. It's like shoot high, go low, I think is what it's called. And that's essentially the same concept, okay? The reason why I'm saying you don't even need to snap out from this position is because this guy is going to be shooting this spot, guaranteed. As soon as he sees that that's what you're doing, that you're taking this big bite here, he knows I need to stop him at all costs from taking this zone right here. But that's where you throw in the mix-up and you shoot right there. The easiest and safest way to do that is as soon as you get here, stand up and get intel from the center. What can I see in the center? Is there anybody here that's looking at me? If there's nobody here that's looking at me, instantly snap. This guy won't see it. He will not see it coming. I promise you that. As soon as you get into flinch, just take the bite instantly. Okay? Now you get here, boom. You're down their throat at this point. Because look, you don't even have to challenge. You don't even have to challenge anybody, and you control this Dorito tape, this entire zone. You don't even care what's going on the snake side. If they get to that snake 50, you're gonna die for sure, the inside one. But that's gonna be a hard place to get to. If they get to this center 50, you can actually survive that guy. Worst case scenario, you can always challenge the juice box guy, and as soon as this is a really small gap for both of you, you could probably even get low enough that you can come here and now look at this box. Look at this gap right here. No, sorry, I'll get down. Look at this gap. Sorry. If I'm on my knees, who's seeing me right now? At most, it's the home guy. And in fact, I'd probably kill the home guy if I'd made this play. I can instantly challenge this guy. I'm watching if the number 2 tries to run me down on the inside of the field. But if I make this move, what is this guy going to say? He's not going to call this a dead zone. So all I have to do is come out, challenge, snap on this Dorito guy. either just hold this for a second, shoot at him, or come up to here then, and boom, all of a sudden, man, look at how much real estate I'm still controlling. I could probably kill the home guy. I'm still blinding out the Dorito and the guy behind him. I could kill everybody on the snake backline. I could kill everybody here. I could probably shoot this guy to get into flinch. Otherwise, I can come here. And again, I challenged from this position, right? I challenged from this angle. So this makes it the 1. This makes this the 1, the 2. Now this is the 3rd angle. You should just challenge that after. What's up? Okay. Quite a bit of comments going on. Come on the inside. Matt, like your channel too, bro. I see that all the time. Command the D side from that box. Yeah, some guy's pod pack would be great target for that position. He's smoked. Absolutely. Matt, how are you, buddy? Oh my goodness. It was like 88 degrees today. It's the hottest it's been so far. Hey man, I'm pretty sure you're at like 13, probably 13k subs, right? Since last time we talked. Dude, that's insane. Let me see real quick. Water. Yeah, dude, 13k. You are soaring. The time from when you went to 10k to 13 is like it's like been days. So, okay, that's the Dorito side. I'm good, man. Just got back from the gym. Nice, another deposit, baby. I love that, by the way. I think that's so cool. I love it. Okay, so the inside Dorito problem. So if we decide instead of running to that Dorito corner, we come here. This is a pretty tough, it's a very typical fight you will have to make as a front Dorito player, where you have to shoot not only the guy in front of you, but the guy behind him. And there's not really a whole lot the front guy or your number 2 can do for you, because at this point you'd be the widest person. The most that they could do for you, which would be very risky, and I talk about this in my mid-player guide video, is if you decided to come here and shoot, this guy could possibly go around you. But you have to make sure that this guy, the safest way to do that is if this guy had control of what's in front of him. And if he does, there's no reason he shouldn't just go here. So otherwise, you could always back up and go. It's just super risky, man, because you're going to get shot by the guy who's shooting this gap right here. You're going to get shot in the legs, the waist, whatever, as you try to make that move. But that would be the only case in which he could come out here and maybe come up and challenge the juice box guy to get him to flinch and then for you to go. But this is not a great bunker to help from. Like, that's a pretty bad gap on the, along those Doritos. You only have an up over. You like have an over the top shot, and that's it. Maybe you come here. No. I would suspect that what this field looks like is that the number 1 occupies this space exclusively, and the number 2 looks to occupy this space exclusively. And then if this guy dies, obviously he tries to come out this way. I'm good, man. Oh, yeah, I read that already. So, something to consider. Okay. Any questions before we finish? I'm pretty sure we covered a lot of that. Seems like the juice box is an omnipresent spot for the Doritos. Yeah, absolutely. I guess we didn't even look at the inside of the bunkers, too. Because this... Look at this. This is massive. This is a huge gap. Double up juice box? Question mark? Because like home guy can't see that. I mean, he can see these gaps, which we covered already. But maybe the idea is that he comes out here and holds this, and then as soon as he sees somebody cross this and survive, then he filters up this way. So that'd be pretty easy. He'd come up here, either hold from here or can commit and come here. This is a pretty vulnerable spot against the snake, though, to be honest. You're not really stopping them from progressing up the snake, and this is a really tough challenge for you. So it might be more worth it to just wrap the Dorito side, which I would say looks to be the case. There's a nice blind. So let's say, for example, they're posted up in the juice box and the Dorito 1. Guess what? Neither of them can see you. So you come here, you sneak up this pin, look cross on the snake side, and then you have 2 choices. You can either come out here, or you can go straight, because the juice box guy is not seeing you. The Dorito guy on the inside will see you, but I don't know why he would look on the inside, except to do what we just talked about. Some pretty wild gaps in this field. Yeah, dude, this field's insane. This layout looks like fun. I know there's some raw footage of it if you haven't seen it. I actually haven't seen it yet. Yeah, no, that's actually good to know. I guess that's the reason why people wanted me to cover it last week, because people have already played on it. Okay, so I guess just some final thoughts. There's some really, really solid gaps, some really solid dead zones, some super solid dead zones where you can penetrate the middle, and just make sure that your snake guy is either filtering out to the snake or whatever. And then you've obviously got your Dorito guy that can go to the corner, or he can go to this Dorito here, or he can come to this. But you just want to make sure that wherever you're going up the middle, that you just you make sure that you're putting a lot of pressure there. Okay. Family friendly. I'm sorry. No, you're absolutely right. Okay. Let's talk about some gaps really quick. So this is a good one. What did we say? What's the Dorito gap that we said is really strong? It's this one right here. That gap's really strong. Yeah, okay, it was this one. Off-center Dorito side. Here. It's here. Okay. That's a pretty strong gap. It doesn't seem like there's anything else that you could shoot that would kill this guy. So consider this to be like a pretty standard thing. We already talked about the puzzle the Dorito side will have to solve, which is going to be this guy goes here, and this guy either shoots at the guy that's running there as well, or shoots back at the guy in front of him, and then decides to where to go from there. He has lots of options. He can either go to the corner, which again is a little risky. He can go here, or he can go up, or he can go here. You just want to make sure you know exactly. What our drawing. Remember to come on the inside after all that. Absolutely. Snake side, what do we say? Snake side, there's a really solid gap to shoot the snake runner from here as well. Oh, and we said the middle can filter up the center right off the break if he wants to, and he can run and gun the snake side if he wants to. But just consider what you lose by putting your number 3 in here, right? You usually lose your strongest communicator. Like if most teams' strongest communicator is the number 3, you kind of lose that. He certainly can communicate whatever he sees on either side of the field, but that's limited to that, right? Otherwise, if he's sitting back here, he's getting all the intel he needs and he's filtering it to either team. So just keep that in mind, as well as if you lose somebody, you cannot become the number 2 or the 1 on the either side, right? So just don't feel like just because this is free, you should take it every point, is really what I'm saying. As far as snake side is concerned, we said running and gunning the corner seems pretty safe. This is a super solid bunker, by the way. The snake corner is a very, very strong bunker, because you can not only control the guy in front of you, you can put a decent amount of pressure on the snake guy in front, a decent amount, not entirely, but then you've got really solid wraps. Like look at how much, if I were to wrap, look how much visibility you have of the field. This is a strong window of intel. Stop a huge run up the center. Inside shot is also pretty big, but this means that you're going to get pressured from the Dorito guy if he makes it there. So that means this inside shot is something you should consider taking. Right here. You could actually just, if you got to this Dorito, that would be probably the first thing. Actually, that seems to be the Doritos jam. So if you decide, sorry, I'm almost done. If you decide to run to this corner and you do all of the puzzle that we just talked about, as soon as you take this bite, look on the inside and shoot this gap. I don't care if there's anybody there or not. As soon as you get to that corner, you should shoot that gap and hold it. Okay. Now the tricky part is, you know how I said if you, in the first 10 seconds of the point, you should just challenge this dude and get him to flinch and then go. If your game plan is to push the Doritos side, you should do that. But if your plan is to like get a cheeky kill because you know they like to, for example, let's say that they like to delay in this gap. Excuse me, wrong side. They like to delay in this gap and then come out here. Well, that's the same window from where you'd probably have the opportunity to get here and shoot him before he comes out. Okay, but just know that if you do that, this guy on the inside is going to see your paint. He's going to see your paint coming from here. So he's going to shoot back at you in that direction, which means he's going to tell his teammate that you're looking on the inside. And that's a really easy way to lose where the guy is in front of you. And you're also not controlling what's heads up. So you have a limited time from when you can do this. You have maybe 5 seconds where you could hold this. And if you decide to shoot this angle, remember what we said, shoot the third angle. Again, last time, if the third angle is always, so if we shot from here, that becomes the first, this becomes the second, this is the third. In this case, I would actually almost probably go here. If you decide to shoot high like this, I would come down low like this and low wrap and shoot at the juice box and then go. That's why what I say is the most valuable individual skill a Dorito player can have is vertical mobility. Your ability to transition from a low position to a high position really quickly and explosively will make you one of the best Dorito players in the sport. That's the reason why Tyler Harmon's so good, among other things. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're done with the layout. Let's go on to videos. So the next thing I want to talk about is, or the next thing I want to do is watch video clips that you guys sent to me. So Michael, I won't say your last name, from Austin Notorious. I do not have access to your Google Drive link. I requested access. You should have an email about that. But if you're in this channel or in the stream, just know I don't have access. So let's go to, where's that clip? Here it is. Okay. So let me just preface. I did this at the very beginning. Looks like multiple strats for points. Absolutely. Get it together, Michael. So I said this at the beginning, but with this series, I hope to provide value. I hope to say something meaningful that you guys will appreciate for whoever sends me clips. But know that my criticism of you is from my limited perspective. I don't have all of the information. In this particular video, I have no idea what the score is, if there is even a score, how much time is left, anything like that. I don't even know where all the bodies are. So in some cases, I can critique game plan, gameplay, breakout, stuff like that, like the meta, broader perspective. But in many cases, I will simply be critiquing your form because that's usually what people have to provide me is their film. So just know that that's the case. Almost seems like this layout is going to have to be played fast, slow play, and you're going to get trapped. Absolutely. 100% agree. Lone Star Layout. Okay. Great. Great move. I mean, okay, so if we remember the Lone Star Layout is one where you want to get to the Snake 3, I think it was. Maybe it's just the Snake 2. I think it's just the Snake 2. You want to get to the Snake 2 as quick as possible because you're trying to beat the guy before he gets to the center wedge, if possible, and that's the complex problem to solve, is the snake battle to the center battle. As soon as that battle is won in the snake's favor, he goes to the 50 and you instantly win the point. You can get to the 50 beforehand, but if the guy in the center is still alive, you are going to have a hard time surviving. So usually you have to either kill the guy out of the center first, or he has to not be there before you can go up to the 50. So if we remember that, now he's in the snake 2. Shoots on the inside. Not sure if he got a kill yet. He hasn't said anything. Okay. There seems to be somebody in the center of the field. He's doing what he should by getting low. Everything is good so far. The only thing I would suggest is the time it takes you, and you probably already know this about yourself, but the time that it takes you to transition your hands and move up the field is probably time that could be spent just going, right? Because, like, look, I mean, it's small, right? But you're playing semi-pro, so this stuff matters. It's right here. You're moving, so it's really not that big of a deal. But just consider the fact that if you did see somebody, all of a sudden you have no ability to shoot back at them, right? In this position, there's no way you could stop a center guy from killing you. You're just dead. So just consider the fact that, like, a lot of times it's better to be making that move. Sorry, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, you can. If you use this hand and still hold your gun on the outside, you can actually move while you shoot and make that crawl. And still, I mean, the paint's not going to be super accurate, but you're at least going to be shooting at him. Dorito 2 MJ. I assume that's this person. I know their last name. I'm not going to dox them. So this is a pretty good setup. It seems that he doesn't know what's in front of him, and that's not necessarily his fault. It's really hard to know what's in front of you because you're completely blinded out from it, and it's also a Dorito. It's not the snake. So this guy is helping you, which he saw, which should give him a little confidence to know if worst case scenario, I am not safe to wrap on the outside, I can at least look on the inside and know that this guy is protecting me. But it would also be a case in which you want to make sure that this guy, you know where this guy's looking, right? Okay, see here, boom. If he looked on the inside, you'd need to know, okay, I can't do that. I got to look on the outside because I have to protect myself now.
Hey,
kill two, which is the first thing we've heard him say so far. Probably not his fault. Nice play. Really good play. Every time you have this, you want to switch hands. I would just try to keep that outside hand and control the gun. Just try to keep it there as much as you can. Bring it on, Zeke. Wait, bring one on. I just want to be as fast as you, Mike. I do this myself. Something I need to fix. Well, and I think that I think if switching hands, this is what I'll say. If you, while you are training to get better, switch your hands because it's more comfortable for you to run, whatever, man. Like, you do you, that's fine. Obviously, work towards being comfortable running as fast with both hands. Like, that would be the ideal. But I actually think that there are cases in which running with the gun in the opposite hand of where you're going is sometimes more comfortable and faster, because, like, imagine in your mind for a second that you are running to here we go. Imagine in your mind you are running to the left side of the field, okay? And let's say you're right-handed, so you have your gun in your right hand. Well, when you run and then dive, you're putting your back in the back of your head downrange, right? Not great because you don't know what's going on, but if you needed to be as fast as possible, that would be it, right? It would also make the most natural slide, because now what you've got is you've got this hand that's going to plant down and catch you as you start to slide out into the corner, and then you're able to plant your feet and get up. If you dive with the gun in the hand on the same side, so you're running with your left hand and running to the left side of the field, well, now you have intel of what's going on, which is more important. You can do that with the other hand too. You have intel of what's going on, but when you go to slide, you don't have anything that's going to stop you in that momentum, right? Because if you try to put a foot down, that foot is behind you where you're running. It's not in front of you to plant in front of you, if that makes sense. Anyway, it's a little minutia, but yeah, like Alex Goldman always runs with a gun in his right hand. And I think that for him, he's super, super fast and it works, but just something to consider. All right, let's go to the next video. So yeah, Michael, if you're here, don't have access to Google Drive, let me know. Yeah, next one. Okay, so this one is from a scrub named JTunes. Dude, don't even get me started. I'm just kidding. 210. He says 210. Gray jersey number 23. Gray jersey number 23. Seven, 6. Somebody, hey, please, for the love of all that is holy, somebody on your team needs to count down that timer. I don't care if everybody's doing it in their heads. One person needs to do that. I cannot tell you how many times someone has said to me, even at a semi-pro level, dude, when Steven's at the start box and he counts down the timer, I just instantly calm down. And there's value there, right? One person vocalizing the countdown timer brings everybody in sync. Everybody's confident and knows when that thing is going off, right? Also, Matt, did I hear you right? You count up. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dude, you are crazy if that's what you're doing. This is my first outing post COVID. I agree that that needs to happen. Okay. First impression, you need to be way faster. Way faster. I thought he did that because he hurt his shoulder too much. It could be. Same happens to me. I always run right-handed. Yeah, everyone hates me for it. Wait, what am I seeing? What am I seeing? Sorry, I was reading chat. Yeah, if you were at my field, the only thing I would say to you right now is your explosivity needs some work. Like, I get it that it's your first outing in COVID, so I totally understand that you're just getting your feel. This I don't care about. I don't care you guys doubled up. It doesn't matter to me. But like, even the fact that you are slow walking to the Dorito while you're asking for a check is just like, dude, you got to be quicker. You got to have way more urgency in getting to your bunker and like explosive coming out of your bunker, right? That's true for everything that I'm saying right now. Explosivity needs to go way up right now. One other criticism here is make sure you are in control of your gun when you're transitioning. So give me just a second, actually, 1 sec. Enjoy the music. Hold on. Oh, oh. I realized the whole thing was muted, but you guys get my point, right? First half was, this is what you shouldn't do. Second half was, this is what you should do. Okay. Kill me. All right. Just kidding. In a video game. Just kidding. Also. Thank you. Very insightful. There you go. You did that transition just now. Good, good. Maybe I spoke too soon. Wait, did you just die? No, you didn't die. Okay. Oh, hello. Gun in a gun ready position. Your gun needs to be in a ready position. I don't care if there's teammates in front of you or not. You should always have your gun in a ready position. Also, you as a front player, see, like right now, you are not in any position to shoot anybody. But right now, like, look at that guy. Dude, free. Free is free. Shoot the other guy. Shoot the guy behind him. What's happening? You're looking, I mean, again, this is like a year ago or however long you said it was. But obviously what I would tell you based off of this information or off of this footage is you need to just focus on the outside of the bunker, right? As a front player, you really only should be looking on the inside of the field if it allows you to move up the field, or if you have a specific job that your coach has told you, right? You don't want to be looking on the inside. Otherwise, there's really literally no reason for you as a front player to look on the inside of the field. Because as I said before, for as long as you are looking on the inside of the field, and it's not according to your game plan, it is as long as it takes your team. It is as long as you have stopped your progression on that side of the field. So just consider that. Okay, sorry, I'm really behind on chat. What a cutie though, you guys. Is that a roundel on your gun? I'm not sure what that is. Your explosivity and speed of unmuting yourself totally needs some work. True. How long do you guys think it will take you to know? This is great learning experience. 10 minutes. Wow, he's really fighting those ghosts. You coming out to Oregon with Nate in July? Oh, I don't know anything about that. We're going to New York in July for ICC. So is that a roundel on your gun? I was like, that's got to be some sort of jet. I don't know. Hey, Matt, congrats on graduating. Makes more sense. Okay, cool. Let's continue. I'll do like one more. Let's do 1843, 42. I would suspect that a lot of the things that I will see are very similar to that problem. 1842. 1842. Okay, here we go. Remember, if you want to send me clips to review, send them to SVP Paintball clips. Oops. At Gmail. Why is this taking so long? Oh. So, dude, you are going somewhere so slowly. that is the number one thing I see right now out of you, is you're just have no urgency in this sport. It's insane. But I'm not gonna harp on that anymore. Let it stand. That's what I feel. I don't know what this is. It's a Minnesota logo on the side. Facts. Wait. Oh, come on. What happened? Did it not like me trying to change to... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Or is it just... Am I just buffering? I think it might just be buffering. Okay, let's get rid of this. I might be bringing on too much. All right, we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it. Okay. I've been hitting the gym and making strides to improve the explosiveness. Okay, good. Honestly, I think the only, I mean, Matt probably has more insights on this than I do, but I feel like the best thing you can do to improve your explosivity is to just do sprints. And I mean like actual sprints, like sprint as hard as you possibly can for 50 meters and however many times you can do it. If you can sprint as fast as possible for 10, essentially 10 reps of 50 meters, you are in great shape because that is very, very, very exhausting. When I started to do sprinting, which I am very out of practice now, especially with the like 6-month hiatus I took between last season and this season, I could only even get to like 8. Well, actually, that's not true. I don't remember when the last time was that I did that, but maybe after the G2 clinic that would have changed. But oh my gosh, get some. Yeah, try. So the big issue I'm seeing here is you're switching way too much from inside outside, inside outside. It's like you gotta, your purpose is to control the outside of the field. That's what you're trying to do. But you got a crossfield shot. You're not quite sure where it is. Big. I will say that's a pretty big bite. It's also possible for you to go to the inside Dorito first to get more intel and then really explode, right? It's also okay if you got a guy who's crossfield and you're not exactly sure where he is. It's also okay to just like try to figure out where his gun's coming from and then take a big bite and go, right? Like with your gun down running and go low. All right. PB Ninja sent me one. Forgot about this. Hope it's not too late. This clip is probably more than a year old, so probably plenty to dissect here. I'm in the white jersey on the D side. Okay, sorry, J-Tunes, that's as much as I'm going to watch of this one because we got a few more that I want to cover, and then we got to do the group stage stuff. But number one thing, explosivity. Like, if you're working on the gym, great. Do sprints. Work up to 5. If you can do 5 sprints in, like, a 30-minute period, which is quite a bit, 5 sprints of 50 yards and, like, actually even less than that. I think it's, like, you're supposed to give yourself, like, a 2-minute break in between each sprint. If you can do that for 10 reps at 50 meters, dude, or 50 yards, I don't know which it is. I know those are massively different, but don't hold me to it. I don't know why my playback is really scuffed right now. Thank you for the help. Much appreciated. No problem. Yeah, dude, no worries. Darn you, YouTube and your buffet. Your buffet. Doing more than most, it makes a difference. That's what I've been told multiple times. Okay, cool. Squats, deadlifts, benches are great for athleticism. Yes. A lot of leg stuff. Well, bench too, but I don't know what's going on. Something's happened with my playback. It's like super, super slow. Okay, whatever. So he said he is jersey on the D side. So like what is my stream taking a hit? Or are we all good? I just need to know that first. I need to know if the stream is taking a hit. Because this is unbelievable. Hold on. Arcus. Let's see. I'm smooth as butter. Thank you, buddy. Marcus, what's up? Your stream is fine. Okay, thank you, Sturmy. Sturmy? Yeah. I'm not sure. I can't play this video. There we go. Hang the phone up. I should shout, "Mom, turn off the microwave." Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this video. Someone's watching Netflix in the house. I mean, we have plenty of internet, but maybe. I know. Well, there's no way that's the issue though. Let's try one more time. Okay, this is him. Dude, come on. Come on. Okay, let's move on to another video real quick and see if we can get it better. NRPL clip from last Sunday. I felt like I should have sent it, but appreciate the feedback. Anthony. Okay, here you go, Anthony. But it's got to be YouTube. Something's going on with YouTube.
Got 4 guns left. And now simultaneously shooters lose 2.
I assume this is you.
So now it's a 4-on-3. Mob ties bring things back in their favor.
Okay.
Taylor up here in the near side for mob ties as the far side 50 player for mob ties gets shot. And now we're down to a 3-on-3.
Oh, this has got to be you right here. No. Oh, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. Let's just watch the whole clip. Okay. Can we see the playback here? Is it going to take me to the right timestamp? Because what I need to see is like, I need to see the follow through because the clip stops really quick. So I don't know if you actually die there or not after that move. So let's see. Okay. So you should be able to snap back in and push your gun into the bunker. I realize the bunkers are very inflated, but if you're snapping and you're having to put your gun down every time you snap, you're either too close to the bunker or yeah, you're just not pushing your gun into the bunker. Something to consider. Because if you're snapping like this, that makes it really hard to fight. Really hard to be accurate consistently because you're resetting your area of aim every time. The other thing to consider, I don't know what intel you have here at this moment. I don't hear anybody filtering any sort of information over to you. But the other option too is to like put together what the puzzle is on the inside of the field. Okay. You know what's in front of you. You saw the snake guy walk off. You know there's a snake corner guy. As long as you keep the snake corner guy busy and like you keep him honest so he doesn't just rap on your whole team, stand up over the top and shoot everybody, you can go on the inside of the field and filter up into this wing right here, all the while looking the Doritos side, like crouching, blinding the guy out, whatever. There's a lot of information you can probably gather if you just decide to launch from the inside instead of doing this outside route, which is totally fine. But and the only reason why I would say that stopping, so in the case, you should stop here if there's still a snake corner. You shouldn't stop here if there isn't a snake corner. If the snake corner's gone, you should just go all the way. But it's not a terrible thing. Like, it's a little sloppy, but if you were to...
It. Shoot it. Shot one wedge. I thought he shot the wedge player. He did wedge not. Player asking for a check. It may have bounced.
Really?
Back.
Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Yes, he is out.
Okay, he got him. I wonder who killed you. It might. I don't know if it was the Dorito corner or the Dorito guy, but should you have full sent it? Maybe. I mean, if there's still a snake corner guy, you're only getting one kill there at most, right? I mean, you're lucky to even have gotten the snake wedge guy if there was a snake corner there. In my opinion, I think your better route is to just go on the inside of the field right here. Just take this inside route because then you can come up over the top. You can kill this wedge doing that. You can, low wrap. I'm not exactly sure what the layout looks like. So I'm not sure if the snake corner could see you if you did this low wrap right here, but you just got a lot more at your disposal if you make that route. And again, your purpose is to like isolate. Your purpose is to blind out the snake corner. You want to get farther up the field without having him be the reason that is like he's the guy that's stopping you, right? Okay, another clip. Thank you, Anthony, for submitting. Hey, if you got more, if you've got more clips, always feel free to send them, okay? Pat joined the Discord today and sent this clip. Hey, this is my team's footage from our last event 2 weekends ago in Nashville for the MSXL 2022. If you use it for the stream, let me know. I wouldn't mind going over the layout or teams with you. Okay, great. Let's take a look. Wait. How long is this? Oh, 40 minutes. Wait, did you provide? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I will piece together some things from this video. I won't watch the whole thing on stream. I might watch it off stream for sure. But I'm just gonna watch some clips from this, okay? Also, I'm not sure who you are. You didn't tell me who you were. So I'm not sure who it is I'm looking at. I would assume that this is you or this is at least your team. Whoever this is, first mistake, the guy that's stopping you is no longer there. You should just stay on the outside and run down the field. There's no reason to look on the inside like this. If also this guy's big mistake is if you see your teammate on the 50 and you just killed the whitest guy, you should tell your teammate rap and go. And then you should, as the guy behind him, you should be chopping off whatever control the field you have and do not let them take it. So the fact that he's like going in and out, in and out, in and out, like I don't know what's going on the Dorito side, but if I was this guy and I saw that my teammate was in the 50 snake the way that he was, I would just tell him, dude, wrap and go. And then I'm just shooting essentially up the center because I'm just trying to prevent the number 3 at that point from filling out on the snake side. That's my entire job. That's how we win that point at that moment. Also, I like his lid. That's so much dedication, dude. See, this is what I wanted to see. He's doing now what he should because he knows that there's only one guy left, and there you go, you win the point. But like in the case where you even only eliminate one player on one side of the field, you should absolutely chop that side of the field off. Wait, hold on one second. Wow. AT&T come and let us watch stream. Someone watching Netflix in the house. Oh, we already read that. Bet Matt's pulling 900 for reps. Gotta go strong. I don't know if that's the way. Was that 3-man or full? I think this is... I don't know, actually. Oh, it looks to be... Yeah, it looks to be D3X ball. So it would be 5. That's wild. Detox is my good friend's team. Oh, cool. That's awesome. I assume that we're seeing the perspective of Pat right now and his team. The only thing I will say is I'm not sure if you paid this person to film you guys, but one thing to consider, whoever is running this YouTube channel, there's certainly a difference in filming for analysis and filming for entertainment. I would say that this is definitely filming for entertainment, mostly because a lot of the shots are very close up. They're very close up shots. Like I don't have any context of what's going on the point right now. I have no idea. I have, over the course of my time, become less of a fan of this type of footage because all I'm really watching is players form, which is fine. There's some value there. You can definitely, when you watch yourself, there's some value there. But like I'm at the point now where I'm mostly concerned about what happened from a gameplay perspective or like a broader perspective. I want to know why we lost the point, and that comes down more than just dying, right? Like certainly if you're getting shot out of your bunker, that's one thing, but like it's just something that's why I'll shout him out every single time I live stream. James D is probably one of the best, since I've come across him recently, probably one of the best raw footage guys out there because he is one of the few people, with the exception of like, I think Solus Photography still does a really good job of this. But James D gets a lot of backline footage and a lot of like down the wire footage. So he gets a lot of like downrange perspective, which is awesome to watch, but it's also really helpful to know what's going on in the point, like how many people got killed, what they're doing based on the kills that they're getting and stuff. You just don't really I don't have any idea who's in front of them. I assume there's a guy heads up or slightly inverted from this dude, but I don't know because I have no idea. James got shot more than anyone in paintball. Yeah, dude. Dude, James is an absolute warrior for paintball footage. Like that man, and I don't know what he wears, but the fact that he doesn't say, you don't hear him go like every time he gets hit from like just a stream, and that he doesn't get out of the way all the time. Dude, that guy is an absolute Giga Chad. Like holy cow. He has a few lines of them. I was just surprised to see them in a clip here. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. How many teams does Bro Army have? We have... I think now we only have I think we only have 2 lines. 2 squads. When I first joined, we had 4, I think. Maybe only 3. But we have a D4/D5. They play together. And then we've got I think we call ourselves the Premier Squad now. It's a bit arbitrary because after this year we'll have only played 1 event, and so most of us will have lost points, and so we could play like D3 as a team at least. But when we were playing last year, we had several D2 players, and if Christian was going to play, he was going to be D1. But So we had to play like, and what I mean by premiere is like, at least in the WCPPL, like the West Coast event, we have to play in the open division. I don't know who this guy is, but I hate the way he holds his gun. That's as much as I'll say. Like, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what that is, but you know, there's no, you know, if it works, it works. I'm such a stickler when it comes to people's form, and it's partly because I believe there's an absolute correct way to play paintball, like in terms of form and everything. I'm not saying that that's how everybody else should view paintball. I just think that like there's reasons why pro players don't ever do that, right? There's reasons why we don't see most pro players doing some certain things, and that must mean therefore that there is some kind of correct way to play the sport, and we ought to just replicate that. And so anytime I see people doing not that, I'm always just very critical of it, because I think it's like, guys, you have the perfect example readily available on YouTube to see how people are playing. Like, just copy that. Stop doing your own thing. But Christian not playing this year? No, he's not. He stopped playing after he left Iron Man. It's not like he's done, but he's indefinitely done. He's done until he doesn't want to be done. So I don't know what his plan is. I know that he wants to play with Bro Army again, but I think he's just kind of burnt out from paintball still, and I think he needs more time. And he's also like really enjoying car stuff. He's enjoying working and making money, kind of being his own person, because he moved out not that long ago. And so I think honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it took him like a couple years to come back to paintball. So, which is, you know, everybody's got to do it. Like, I feel like you never truly get away from paintball. For most people, at least, you never really do. You just take long breaks. So we'll see if he comes back. But I think if Christian were to come back, I think the Bro Army squad would be a really, really good team. You see, like, why are you holding? Is there something wrong with his hand? Maybe there is, and maybe I'm just being a total jerk right now. I have no idea. This is the last point I'm going to watch. Again, like, this type of footage, I can't critique on anything. I have no idea what's going on in the point. I mean, I could critique on form, but like, I don't even know who Pat is at this point. So, or which one, I should say, which one Pat is. So, that's good. Good communication. It's something. I'm not sure what's happening here. I don't know why I think there was a guy that died on the snake side, and this guy filtered over, and then the guy behind him filtered over. But like, this is that classic example of like, don't plug the hole. You should flip the field. Like, whatever positioning you had on the Dorito side, whether it was no positioning at all or some, you already have bodies on the Dorito side. You need to make something happen on the Dorito side. I think a very common mistake that I see, especially at D3, you don't see it as much in D2, but in D3, you see a lot of teams that are essentially waiting to lose, if that makes sense. They don't push when they have positioning, and they don't discover, or they don't like do the work to find out if they need to have more urgency than they currently have. They just kind of like proceed at the same pace as always. But absolutely, like, when you start to get past D2 or into D2 and into semi-pro, there is a tempo of the game that you have to be aware of. And the tempo is very, very important to not getting absolutely smashed if you lose like 3 bodies off the break. And that's the reason why, like, you can see, I think even Ronnie Dizon had a video. In fact, he does. His like latest blog with DQ Films, there's a point where I think they lose like 3 bodies off the break. And then they have Tyler somewhere on the snake side, or excuse me, somewhere on the Dorito side, and then Ronnie's somewhere on the Dorito side. Excuse me, snake, opposite. Tyler's on the Dorito side, Ronnie's on the snake. And it seems like it's a 2v4. It seems like they got 1 kill off the break. And if you were a D2 team playing a semi-pro team would win that like 90% of the time. a 4-on-2 because it's just an easy thing to suffocate and squeeze, and then you lose. But like at a pro level, people understand tempo shifts. They understand switches and urgency. So if, for example, you lose 3 people off the break, but you're able to kill 1 guy, you need to immediately start pressuring the 1 guy that's by himself, wherever he is. If he's on the snake side, you need to isolate the crap out of him to make it a 2-on-3. And that's very possible to do. You just have to be on your feet, shooting your gun, wrapping and going, being disciplined with your fundamentals, and you can win the point because you're just ramming it down their throat. It doesn't matter how many bodies you have alive if both guns are shooting. If all 4 players in the other team were not shooting and they were trying to figure out where the bodies were, those 2 guys are going to win the point. So something to consider. Anyway. I'll join this Discord and put a picture of my teammate's form. I've told him several times to fix it, but he still hasn't. Make sure to choose a role in the roles channel, and then you'll be able to see the paintball chats, the paintball groups and stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it might just be the upload is scuffed or something. Because I know that this is you, PB Ninja, right here. I can't see you, and this video is just super weird. I mean, the only thing I can see immediately is you're staying on the inside of the field too long. There's almost no situation in which I would say, oh, that was okay that you stayed in there that long. Because, like, you either are shooting a gap that is totally fine to do, but if your coach told you to shoot it, you really do it that at most for, like, 10 seconds. Because there's a tempo, right? Like... So, I don't know what is wrong with this video, but like so far you have vastly superior positioning on the Doritos side compared to the snake, and you should be able to see that because you can see this guy right here, right? If you just scan across the field, you can see, oh, I see so-and-so is here. I know he's our front snake guy. That means this is the widest we are on the snake side. I shouldn't probably be staying dedicated on the snake side lane. I need to be playing heads up because I am the guy to win the point for us if this is the case, if this is our positioning. I think this video hates us. Yeah, I don't understand. To be fair to this team, Detox has a crazy 15-year-old that is a Dorito god. Kid will be pro one day. Really? Good for him. All right, Ammon, let's see this picture. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. Ammon, choose a role in the roles channel. Go up to here, click roles, and then click the emoji for which role you want. You can do both, but if you choose the baller role, you can see all the paintball chats and stuff. Let's see this really quick. Yeah, dude, it's bad. Here's the reality though. You should team with people that have the same goals as you, or at least parallel goals, right? You shouldn't team with people if for example you team with people who make very obvious mistakes in their form and their mechanics and they don't work on it. And that's something that's important to you is to like become better and progress. You shouldn't team with that person. It doesn't matter if they're the only person in the local area. It's not worth it. It will literally be a waste of your time. It would be more worth it for you to spend the time putting drills in instead of playing points with that person at the hopes of being able to try out for another team in the area or travel to another team and play with them. Yeah, I don't know what this is, dude. Okay, I'm sorry, Peepin' Ninja. I can't do that video. Okay, Ernesto, thank you for sending this. YouTube link isn't working. I uploaded the video to Google Drive. All right, let's take 20 minutes. I will not watch all of 20 minutes, but I will watch some of it. Wait, the YouTube video was working for me earlier. I'm not sure what happened. So I assume this is you because I see that you've got a barrel cam on. So here's the one thing I will say, Ernesto. Because I watched this video earlier, or maybe it was a different one. I was actually thinking about this when I watched this. I can't tell you anything about what you're doing wrong or whatever from a gameplay perspective because this field is not. And that's not like a jab at your local field or anything. It might be the only one you've got, but like this isn't a regulation size field. Everything is different because of that. Anything I would critique you on is going to be your form, and that's fine. But a lot of times people's form is just fine, and it's mostly from a gameplay perspective, like what they're doing wrong. But outside of that, it's pretty impossible for me to know what's going on. Sorry, am I blocking? I'm blocking his barrel cam. I'm realizing this now. To be honest, the resolution is like super hard to see. Let me see if I can pull up the video because I watched it earlier. Oh, maybe this is the video that I watched. Okay, so that, yeah, something's happening with YouTube. This will be easier on my eyes to see. We only got 15 minutes left. We gotta be done with this in just a second. Dude, that guy needs to stop shooting the cameraman. The first thing I would say right now is you are not connected at all with whoever's behind you. And there reaches a point where, like, especially if you snap out on a guy and he knows where you're at, you need to just assume that your opponents rather have said something to their teammates, such that they know where you are now. So if that's the case, pictures in Discord, dude, it's bad. What I was saying about that is, like, if you got a teammate who you've tried to correct on his form and he's just not listening, just like don't team with him. I know that's like easy for me to say and probably hard, but like it's not worth it. Bro Army has a very strict rule that if you aren't willing to listen to criticism, you simply aren't on our team. Yeah, so this is a classic example of, like, you know that there are people that are close to you on the other side of the field, but it is up to you to win the point, which requires you to flip the field, right? Or that's a case in which, like, that's a really good example of waiting to lose the point, because you're just sitting there waiting for the guy to make a mistake while your back is to the side that you're on, right? Sorry, we'll be done after this point with this. That guy needs to work on his form. Yeah, I can't see you, so now I only get your barrel cam. So without there being like a higher quality version, it's not probably worth it for me to view this. And it's also, just so you know, I should have made this more clear. I need clips. I need moments that you guys want me to watch, whether that's a full point or whatever. But like, I can't watch 20 minutes. I can't watch 40 minutes of a video on stream. So make sure you guys send me timestamps or moments that you want me to see. The best ones are always like, we lost this point and I don't know why. Like, if you can find that would be perfect. Thanks, bro. He's my cousin and we started together. I don't just want to ditch him. Well, that's fine. But I feel like if he's your cousin, you can hold him more accountable, right? And it's also okay to not ditch him, but it's also okay to hold him to the same standard that you would another teammate, right? So if you keep working on yourself and he doesn't, well, eventually you're gonna either get picked up on another team or whatever, right? Or he's gonna get cut from whatever team he's on. So long as you guys are not, you don't implicitly become a team of two. Like, you need to make sure that people know, like, hey, we're not a package deal, because that's going to hurt your chances if he's not improving in any way. I've gotten to him before. Okay, good. Or I've gotten on him before. All right. Last thing before we are done for tonight. What happened to our music? Hold on. I got to find it. Oh, I think I got rid of music because I was having issues. So let's do this.
People with ADHD.
Oh, come on. Why don't I? Oh, I don't think I have YouTube Premium anymore. I think that might be gone. Oh, no, I'm logged into a different account. Okay, never mind. That's why. All right. Last thing. Let's look at these groups. So I'm not going to do my full predictions in this video. I will do that next week. Prior to the event, but I am curious to see the groups and what you guys think. So first and foremost, Aftermath has really impressed me recently. Didn't they just pick up somebody? I can't remember. But I think Aftermath is like a super solid top 4 contender this season. They've done really well for themselves. I also am really curious to see Seattle Thunder and how they work their system, because obviously they've merged squads with the Brooklyn Bears, and those guys within semi-pro I think are like old pros. I think a lot of them have like prior experience in pro from what I heard. So, but it's obviously a matter of meshing together, and they don't live close to each other. So that's going to be tough. New York Extreme still is not consistent enough for me to really consider them like a Sunday contender even yet. So I wouldn't suspect that they're going to beat Aftermath, but who knows? Hurricanes, man, I'm telling you what, I think Hurricanes' path is literally only going up. I think they're only moving forward right now. I don't think they've reached the point where they are halted in any way. So I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see, in this group, they would definitely beat New York Extreme. I think that they're probably going to beat New York. Let me say it this way. They will beat any team that does not have a good structure behind them probably 75% of the time. So I would say that I don't know what the structure is of Seattle Thunders, given the fact that they merged, but their chances of beating these two guys is pretty good, I would say. And then beating Impact, I think they can beat Impact. I really, truly do. Against Aftermath, I think that'll be a tough one for them because they haven't played them yet, from my understanding, and that's going to just be a new experience. So I would suspect, I know we're talking about Aftermath here, but I would suspect that Hurricanes have a pretty solid chance of going 3-1 and getting pretty decent seeding into Sunday, and who knows what happens at that point. So Impact, obviously, we saw this from a different perspective. We need to get a different group. Okay. So Columbus LVL has like over one season become a top 4 team, and a team that even threatens a victory. Didn't they make it to the finals against, was it Dynasty? I don't even remember what happened last tournament. It just happened, but I don't even remember. But I think that these guys are a team to watch out for. Like they're doing something, whatever they're drinking or eating, it's right. It's doing something for them. Revo, I think, still has some. I think Revo's a really solid squad. I would like to see them be a bit more consistent than they have been, but I think Revo's super solid. I'm really happy with how they're doing, and I'm also really curious to see what happens to the New England Hurricanes squad and where they end up like disseminating, because it's very possible that Revo might pick up more people from that squad. Who knows? Who was it? Somebody got picked up besides Benny or Carol. Or maybe that's the same person. I know there's 2 people that look very similar to me on that team, and I can't ever remember their names. I think Ben Carroll is his name, so I think it's the same person. DMG, I'm not sure what's going on with the DMG camp. They have been very underwhelming to me, unimpressive to me in the last several years. I don't know if they need a roster change. Because like those guys have been playing together for a long time, and I know they're good players, but they just seem to always fall short, and I'm not sure why. So these guys yet are not a Sunday contender to me, and AC Diesel has like really fallen from grace or whatever. I'm not sure what's going on with those guys. When we went into this season, I thought for sure Diesel was going to be a top 4 team, but they're like struggling to make it into Sunday and then getting past this first stage. So I don't know. Houston Heat has also been a very interesting team. I don't know what happened, but like right when they got that team put together, it was like, oh dude, Houston Heat, dude, those guys are never going to lose, right? Never going to lose. At least that's what I said. And I know that's what a lot of people said. But there's like something's not consistent. Something inconsistent is happening in that camp, and I'm not sure what. There's obviously been a lot of change in the last year and a half between picking up Todd Martinez. It's been more than a year and a half. I think it's just been a year and a half between picking up Tyler Harmon and Todd Martinez, getting Konstantin Fedorov back, and putting Dizon possibly in the Snake. Who knows? And they obviously move Tyler Harmon around a lot, but like something needs to get worked out. But that Houston Heat is always a roster that could, in one tournament, in one match, even say it'd be like, oh, that team, they're going to the finals. Like those guys are going to go to the finals, no problem. Ginger or Geiger, not Ginger. Sorry. Geiger went to Revo. Thank you. The level group seems the easiest. It does actually. So I think LVL will beat Revo. I think they'll beat Damage. I think they'll beat Diesel, and I think it'll be a really good game against Heat and probably even beat them. So I don't know what it is. Heat seems to struggle against level. I don't know if it's just mismatches in playstyle, but like wouldn't be surprised. Houston Heat I think will beat. I think they'll beat DMG. I think they'll beat Heat Diesel, but that could be a good game. And Revo is a wild card to me going into this event. So Revo, in my mind, as far as status, is like totally wild card. I have no idea what to expect out of them. I think they're just getting their bearings again, so we'll see. But I really like this. I really like Revo, so I hope they do well. We already talked about them. Diesel, I think Diesel stands to, unfortunately, I think Diesel stands to lose every one of these games now. They haven't shown like super consistent to me, like a lot of consistency, excuse me. Obviously, I would say that they'll probably have a good chance of beating DMG. They probably have an okay chance of beating Houston Heat. I think they probably have like a 50-50 beating Revo, and I think they're probably going to lose to Columbus LVL. DMG, I think, stands to lose all of these games, unfortunately. I think they could beat Revo, and I think they could beat Diesel. Maybe I should say that. So I realize it doesn't even make any sense because I repeated myself. But all right, Latin Saints, dude, I have no idea. These guys are the true dark horse. Obviously, they lost a bunch of their big players. Is there anybody even still there? Because they had Spica, who's gone. They had J-Rab, who's gone. They had Mouse, who's gone. There was somebody else. I thought. It was Spica, J-Rab, Goldman, and somebody else. Somebody can remind me. I'm fairly certain they don't have any of those players anymore. Oh, it was Rodriguez. That's right. I take that back. This is the easiest bracket. To be honest, though, like ML Kings is not a team to just they all gone. Yeah. Where is Spica going? There's rumors that Spica is going well, the only thing I've heard from my Discord server is there's rumors that Spica is going to a team that wears a blue jersey. Given the fact that he's so tightly knit with like Greenspan, I would not be surprised if he played for Dynasty this event. But the problem is like Spica doesn't really fit under the Dynasty roster anymore. So can Latin Saints afford to play at this point? Dude, I don't know. But what I was saying is I don't think ML Kings is a team that we can just like disregard. I think 2 years ago they were a team that's like, yeah, they're probably bottom 2 right now. But I don't think ML Kings is that way anymore. Especially after the last 2 events. I think these guys have really proven themselves, at least in my mind. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Unfortunately, Uprising I think is like, Uprising needs some sort of change. They need something to do. Something to happen. My goodness, I'm struggling. They need to either change their roster, get a different coach that's going to kick them into gear, or go away. Like, not that I have a problem with them, but like those guys are literally just like floating in pro. I think Uprising stands a really solid chance of losing the pro spot this year. I don't remember the last. I don't know. Did they win any series last event that they played? I don't remember. But they just like they have moments of glory and then they just crumble. I don't know what happens. X Factor, always a team to worry about. Damage, always a team to worry about. Damage winning the Lone Star event, so coming in hot. In fact, let's look at it from their perspective. I think Damage could absolutely beat X Factor, but that's going to be a grudge match. I think that's going to be a slugfest. But I think Damage is a team that when they find out how to play the field, it's really hard to beat Damage. So if they can figure out how to play that field correctly, I think they beat Houston Heat. I think they beat ML Kings, Uprising, Latin Saints. I think Damage comes first out of this bracket, with San Antonio being just behind that. I think ML Kings stands a chance to make it into Sunday with a wild card spot, and I think these two are bottom seeded. I think these guys take like 20th and 19th or something. Yeah, okay, we covered that. I need to actually go to their Instagram then to see the other right? I need to see the other group. This one. Last one, and then we're done with the stream. Okay. So Dynasty, Infamous, Iron Man, Energy Elite, Russian Legion. So there was a bunch of rumors floating around of Iron Man. Oh, that's what it was. There was a rumor floating around that Iron Man was going to try and pick up a bunch of New England Hurricanes. I don't know if that rumor is substantiated at all, but there is rumors. So wait, in fact, I think there's a picture on my Discord. Oh, Corey Hall was the other Latin Saint guy that went to New York Extreme. Keith DeVitt. That's the other guy. It's Keith DeVitt and Ben Carroll. Okay, so Keith DeVitt and some other New England Hurricanes players making the move to Los Angeles Ironmen. Okay. If I don't know what's happening with the Ironman roster. I'm actually super curious to see what that team looks like for this event. I would think that if they pick up a lot of the New England Hurricanes squad, they might actually do pretty well. Unfortunately, this is a really, really impossible. This is like literally every single team here is really, really good. So I think these guys are definitely bottom seeded going into the event. I think this would be a learning event for them. Hopefully they can stick together after this, and I think they'll do well in the next event. But I think Dynasty stands a really good shot at just winning this group, beating this group. Russian Legion is always a team I don't think anybody ever counts out. So Russian Legion is always a team that can just come out swinging and take first in their group. But Russian Legion has been really weird to me for the last several events, because that team starts off slow and then they decide, oh, I don't like losing, let's go in hot for this third match or fourth match. And it's like, it's kind of too late, guys. Like, you needed to go in hot those first two matches, because sometimes I think in the last like 4 events there have been a few matches where they've struggled against teams that they should not have struggled against, like Uprising. Like Uprising took them to, like, I think, what was it World Cup that they played Uprising, and it was like 7-5 or something crazy, and it was like, what is happening right now? Like, no disrespect to Uprising, but like, you're Russian Legion, you play this sport literally professionally. Like, you practice all the time, you exercise all the time. Uprising does not. There's no reason that this should be happening. So anyway, I want to see Infamous come out second in this group. I would suspect that Energy Elite and Russian Legion are going to fight for a wild card spot, but it also is possible for Infamous to fight for the wild card spot. So I would say that Dynasty is a clear contender here for the first place in this group. And then I would say, honestly, I think losing Sewers really hurt them. I would say that these two teams, Energy Elite and Russian Legion, for the second seed, and then based on that, between Infamous and whoever isn't, it would be the wild card contender. So I don't know if that logic follows, but the dark horse, Energy Elite, comes out second in the bracket. You think so? Energy Elite's really good, man. They've gotten a lot better. So that's the thing. This is probably the least obvious group to me, aside from, I think Dynasty takes first in this group. But Dynasty's that team where sometimes they just do really poorly and barely make it to Sunday. Excuse me, and then they just like soar to the top. So it's possible that Dynasty's the one that makes the wild card slot. So that's why this team, not clear on who. I have no idea. It's really hard to say. I would say that this is very obviously Damage, then San Antonio X Factor, with MO Kings possibly earning a wild card slot. I would think Columbus Level stands a strong chance of taking first in this. I would say Houston Heat behind that, and then I don't think any of these teams would probably come out with a wild card slot, probably. And then I would say that depending on how well Aftermath does, I think Hurricanes could actually come out second in this group. So I would think it'd still probably be Impact first, and then I would say Hurricanes would come out second. I think Hurricanes only stand to lose to Impact, not almost guaranteed, but like pretty likely. Otherwise, the rest of these teams I think they can definitely beat. So yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's it, guys. Oh, hold on. Wait, did I lose you? Okay, no, I didn't. All right. My face is red because it's hot in here. Okay, guys. 10 out of 10. Thanks, buddy. That's it for today. I will probably be on at some point tomorrow on my Twitch channel playing some video games, but we'll see. So thanks guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like the video. I always appreciate that. And if you like what you see, consider becoming a member. It really helps me out a lot. My lowest membership, I think, is like $3, like I said. So thanks guys so much. And be sure to tell your friends and teammates about this channel. If they're not watching this, you have bad teammates. I just am committed to saying that at this point. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later and have a good one. See ya.